At 4:30, she left the house to go to take a bike ride. 4:30. 2.5 hours earlier, she had come from school, and she was going for a bike ride, like any other day. And 7 o'clock, we're already on the way back from the hospital, and she's dead.
The Vilna Gaon famously writes that there are 5 groups in Klal Yisrael, in the Jewish nation, that causes tremendous difficulties for us throughout the ages. Some of the groups are those who speak Lashon Hara, those who are conceited, Balei Gaiva. But one of the 5, the Vilna Gaon writes, are the Balei Maklokes, those who bring strife and fighting and arguments into Klal Yisrael, into the Jewish people. And then he ends. He says that this 5th one, this group, the 5th group of Balei Maklokes, are the ones that are holding back Mashiach from coming.
My name is Komi Hertzberg. I'm from Muncie. I grew up here. I'm the middle of 5. I have 2 older sisters, a brother underneath me, and a little younger sister. I love Muncie. I love growing up here.
So my name is Yidi Hertzberg. I grew up in Far Rockaway. My father's a Talmud of Shlomo Freifeld from year 1 in Sheyashiv. Our home was a very happy home, a very open home. We always had guests. It was an open house, and that's how we grew up, and that's what we try to do over here also in my home in Muncie. We have 6 children.
They drive me nuts sometimes. They all have really big kochos, really big personalities. So it's like more than a full-time job. Can I know?
My oldest son is Manny. He's 12 years old, getting bar mitzvah in 2 months. My next son is Abi. He's 10 years old. Charlotte, Oliver Shalom, she was 8.5.
And then Aliza just turned 5, and Lily just turned 2. And I have a 2-month-old baby.
Charlotte's named after my wife's grandmother. Her name was Charlotte Eller. Her Hebrew name is Shendel, as her grandmother's name.
She loved to love. Like, she would give you a hug that would, like, knock you over. She would, like, give kisses all the time. I just found today in my cabinet, it was like a paper. It was saying, like, something. I love to give you hugs and kisses, Mommy. Like, but not on the lips, obviously. Like, she was just, like, funny. But she loved to hug and kiss all the time. She was just, like, a bundle of, like, energy. She was really kind and caring also.
She made everything into adventure. Everything about her was an adventure. She loved life. Every minute of life she loved, and she lived her best life. That's who she was. You know, Baruch Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given my wife and I a fantastic life. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Like, we've really been very fortunate, very blessed. And, you know, my job, I have a flexible job. I work on my own hours, work on my own time. And, you know, there are days where it's very chilled, very relaxed. And, you know, my daughter was in Iftaris on Tuesday. And on Monday, the Monday before, it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I just came back from pickleball. And I was outside with 2 of my friends, 2 o'clock on a Monday. It wasn't 2 o'clock on a Wednesday, 2 o'clock on a Monday. The rest of the world is working. It's a hard day, Monday. But I was out there on my back porch, smoking a cigar, grilling meats, and I was like, my life is just amazing. I just have the most amazing life. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given me the most incredible life. And, you know, our pool was scheduled to be poured on Tuesday, and yes, it was poured. But it was scheduled to be poured on Tuesday. And I said to my friends, I said, the only thing to make this any better is that once my pool is done, in a month from now, I'm just going to have the most amazing life. We'll play pickleball, have a cigar, chill by the pool. What could get better than this? And I said, the only problem is that Kodesh Baruch Hu is definitely going to take away from my Olam Haba. How could it be? How could I enjoy this life so much and not lose out on Olam Haba? Little did I know that my wife was listening from the porch above. But that's what I said.
So I was burning chicken on the grill. Yiddy taught me how to use the grill that day. Gave me instructions over the phone, and he's like, I'm on my way home. I was trying to like get back on my feet that week. I hadn't been on my feet, Baruch Hashem, my 6th child. And I was like slowly getting back on my feet. And like, that was the week that I was like, okay, like we're getting back into regular routine. Like I was going for it. I really was. And like, I'm making dinner for the kids. I fed them, and then I'm like, wait, Yodi's coming home. Let me throw on more chicken for him. And I'm going to go up the block with the kids to, watch them. So I was outside, and my baby was crying. They were pouring the pool, so there was so much happening all at the same time. And when they left, I just was finishing up, and my son comes running, Mommy, Mommy, he starts like screaming at me like he was hysterical, that Charlotte had gotten, he said Charlotte got run over and by a car. My son comes running, Mommy, Mommy, he starts like screaming at me like he was hysterical, that Charlotte had gotten, he said Charlotte got run over and by a car. And I was like, Tata, can you just give me 1 second? Like, there was a lot going on. My chicken was on fire. Again, first time he was in the grill. And he's like, no. Like, Charlotte got run over. And I was so shocked. I like grabbed my baby and I started like running outside. And when I went outside, there was a neighbor standing there. I see like right away, I saw my neighbor Hatzalah running down the block. I saw 2 of our friends already, with her. I did see like blood. I didn't see her. And when I came out, I was holding my 2-year-old, and one of the neighbors like started screaming. I said, go back inside, go back inside. So I went inside, I closed the door. I was hysterical, obviously. Right away, I called Yodi.
I pick up the phone, and she's screaming, Charlotte got hit by a car, Charlotte got hit by a car. I said, everything okay? I don't know, I can't see, I don't know, it's blood. I happened to be 2 minutes away. I said, I'll be home in 2 minutes. So I ripped home.
I ran back inside with the kids, and I just was crying and saying Tehillim. And we were all like, I was just holding my children. And, Yodi came back. Yodi came home right away.
And I pull up to the front of the house, and I see my daughter in the middle of the street. And I see, people I know, my chavrusa, who's my Hatzalah guy, the guy I rely on for everything. Whenever my wife or I have an issue or we have a question and we want to go off the books just to ask a Hatzalah guy before we escalate things, he's my guy. And I see him there, and I see another friend of mine, and I say, okay, fine, Baruch Hashem, they're on scene, like, everything's going to be okay. And then my chavrusa he can't look at me. I see he looks away from me, and I see him like collapsing to the ground. And then I turn my head and I see his car. The car door is open right by where Charlotte is, and it clicks. It's his car. He's the one who hit Charlotte. And like at that point, like I didn't even know what to do myself. And there I am, my daughter in the middle of the street, Hatzalah everywhere. They're doing compressions on her. They're working on her. And what do I do here? Like, what's my job over here? Like, there's nothing I could do. And I see like they get her loaded onto the bus, to the ambulance, and the bus is not moving. And in my head, I'm like, guys, go.
And even like, again, from where I was like just looking out my window, it was right in front of my house. They weren't moving her. Everyone's faces, like I know my neighbors well enough to know that like it was not okay.
And I start heading to the bus, like, okay, I'm gonna go into the ambulance and we're gonna rip off. And I go in, and then someone says, no, you should come out. At that point, right away, I realized that this is bad. And my wife came out, and she's asking me questions, and I don't have any answers. And it was very, I don't know, it was just like not knowing what to do or how to handle myself. It was very scary. And then at a certain point, another friend of mine, another Hatzalah guy, he said, hey, Yuri, I'm going to drive you and come into the hospital. We get in his car, he's driving, and I say, ask him where we're going, and he says it's a certain hospital, and right then I'm like, hey, this is really bad. That's a really bad hospital, and like if they have to go there, it means that like they have to get to the closest place.
My heart, like, right away just knew that this really wasn't okay. And I was obviously staying Tehillim and davening, and like Hashem is orchestrating the plan here. You know, we're exactly where Hashem wants us to be. But like my heart, I don't know how or why, but in some way, like, kind of like understood that she wasn't, like I kept asking, is she alive? And they're like, they just couldn't talk to me straight in a way where I was like, this isn't okay.
So sitting in the car, and I'm talking to Hashem, and I said, Hashem, like, I do so much for people. I do so much. Like, I'm literally like, most of my days are busy helping people, whether it's people, you know, organizations, yeshivas, talking to people, meeting with people, helping people find jobs. And this is my life, all day helping people. And I'm like, Hashem, like, it has to count for something. How can you do this to me? You know? And I said, just take all my schusim, take everything, and just use it, and I'll pay off this debt. Just give me back my daughter. Just give it back to me. Like, it's all I want. I think it's a good deal. And just I had this moment, like, in which, like, I was hoping I would feel like he accepted, but I didn't. I felt like he said, I'm so sorry, but it's not going to happen. And they had like 15, 20 people working on her at the same time, nurses, doctors, for 45 minutes, compressions, artificially keeping her alive. And like, they just kept going. They did not stop. They did not stop. You know, soon after that, they pronounced her. And again, I think I was in shock. Like, I wasn't really reacting.
They asked me if I wanted to hold her, and I said yes. Even such a like silly thing, I asked if I would be able to see her again before they buried her, and they told me yes. And I guess they must have thought I meant, like, would I be able to be with her? Because when we came to, you know, see her before we buried her, she was already, like, in a box. And if I would have known that that was my last time seeing her, I probably would not have been able to let her go. But I thought that I was going to get to see her again. And then that I didn't get to see her again, like, probably gave me the, like, it was the right thing for me, but, like, just, I didn't want to let her go. But also, I didn't think I was going to, so I was kind of able to. And I got to hold her and, you know, hug her. And she looked perfect and beautiful. She is perfect and beautiful.
So the drive home from hospital is more like how can we leave our daughter? She's in the hospital. You know, we're going home without her. You know. One of the most challenging things for me, a father is supposed to take care of his child. And I failed her. She's not here anymore. Did I do my job? You know, Hashem wanted to happen this way, so I guess I think this is Hashem's way of showing us that you're not in control. You know, you're not in control. We're on the way back from the hospital, and, you know, we're pulling up, and I see my Chavrusa's father, Big Talmid Chacham. I see him walking up the block, because the police weren't letting anyone on the block. And I saw my Chavrusa's brother outside his house. It's literally 3 houses away. It's like on the way to my house.
As a mother, I really thought that we should be home with our children. And Yudi's like, no, we need to stop. And we did stop. And Yudi's like, I'm just going to be 2 seconds. It's really important to me.
And I told the driver, I said, give me a second, I have to go inside. So he pulls up in front, and I go outside. I go to my chavrusa. I go to the house, and I go to my chavrusa's room, and he's just a wreck. Like, I've never seen anyone in such a wreck before. He's just crying. He can't face anybody. He's asking, why me? Why me? Why me? Like, and I said to him, I said, look at me. He wouldn't look at me. So after a minute or two, I had to go home. Like, my wife's in the car, my kids are home. I have to get back to them. But like, I gave him a hug. I said, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You know, you have to know that. I don't blame you. That's it. So then, you know, even at that point, he couldn't look at me. You also have to know the person. The person is a tzaddik. Knowing the person, knowing what he stands for, knowing how careful he is about safety, and knowing about how he spends his whole life helping Yidden, you can't possibly be upset at the guy. I get back in the car, I come back home, you know, talk to my children. Everyone was just in shock. 4:30, she left the house to go to take a bike ride. 4:30. 2.5 hours earlier, she had come from school like any other day, and she was going for a bike ride like any other day. And 7 o'clock, we're already on the way back from the hospital, and she's dead.
What makes this story so incredibly powerful, not just the tragedy of it and the pain for the family, but, you know, it's sort of, we understand that someone went through something, a real incredible trauma, the most painful trauma a person can go through. And then it took them a few years to develop himself, work on himself, to be able to move beyond it and to be moichel and to forgive. But for a Jew to be able to find in himself deep down, right after this terrible trauma happened, it was immediate. An immediate reaction is, I need to reach out to my chavrusa, to my friend. I need to hug him, to tell him it's okay. It's not you. It wasn't your fault. Before he even went to comfort his family and those around him. A natural feeling from his neshama that this is what I need to do. That's Klal Yisrael.
Because of what happened and who was there and who's the driver, and me realizing right away that this could really blow up into a bad situation, I envisioned that if I don't address it, my chavrusa is going to move up the block. People are going to start pointing fingers, start yelling, whose side are you on? Are you on Yudi's side? Are you on that side? You know, and before you know it, something which is an accident, literally an accident, could turn into something like people not talking to each other, people failing to take sides, people avoiding other people, and I couldn't let that happen. So I knew that at the Levaya, I had to talk about machlokes.
Our community is blessed with an extraordinary sense of achdus. We're one family. We care for each other. We carry each other, and we stand beside one another. And when at a time where there's so much machlokes in Klal Yisrael, and the world just feels divided, more than ever, our achdus is something precious to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu beams at what he's seeing going on in our community. He sees us in action, and he just smiles. He points to a shining example of what Tehillah should look like. And then the Satan came to Hashem, and he said, I know the time has come for Charlotte Hertzberg to come back home. Give me a chance to show you that even your precious community of Mor East is not so special. They can't handle machlokes. I'm telling you, they ever got challenged, they can't handle it. And perhaps the Satan wanted to take this opportunity to create a crack within our community. Perhaps he wants to turn pain into division. So Hashem said, I trust them. I believe that they are strong enough to handle this. And I'm here to tell you, Hashem, that you were right and the Satan's wrong. We're going to not allow this tragedy to create any sort of rift or division within our community. And we're not going to allow the Satan to succeed. And on the contrary, we're going to fight fire with fire. And we become more united, more connected, and more caring, and more present for each other than ever before. That will be our response. And we will continue to be the paradigm of achdus and chesed for the greater Muncie community and for Klal Yisrael.
It was just a speech, something I felt passionate about. I had no further intention. I just felt it had to be addressed. And apparently, the video got sent around, and the conversation got sent around, and people came to Shiva, and people started, they heard my wife and I talking about B'tachon and about what happened over here, and not blaming anyone, and singing the Yad Hashem. And as this is all happening, it's like I'm seeing what's going on. I'm hearing stories from people. Before we made it anything formal, people calling, I have to let you know that this family, they haven't spoken to each other in 14 years. They're spending Shabbos together. Or these two co-workers, they're on the same team, they haven't spoken in months, and it's really doing a lot of damage to the business, and because of your daughter, they decided that they're dropping their grudge. And so many people go through tragedy, unfortunately, Nebuch. So many people lose children. There's a lot of tsar out there. And now I lost a child. But we also took the opportunity to do something incredible. Changing the world, making shalom throughout the world. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people already have reached out, taking the pledge, not taking the pledge, but reached out, let us know. Some things are small, some things are big, but everyone, is doing something. And a very close friend of mine texted me. He said, I gotta tell you something. He's like, I'm a big cynic. I'm a very cynical person. I don't know if you know that about me. I'm very cynical. He said, you ask my wife. I'm cynical. I don't believe anyone says. And I came to the Shiva, and I heard what you said about being Michael, and this and that, Yad Hashem, and blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was amazing, but I also was very cynical. Like, do you really mean what you're saying? Like, or are you just entertaining the crowd, And then he's like, and then I came to Shafas Wednesday morning, and I saw you in your Karusa, just learning. And I realized that you really mean what you said. And I do. I really do. And again, it had to be something very specific, because if it wasn't, I would not be able to function this way. I would not be able to take out from it what we took out, and we would not be able to do what we're doing with it.
The night before Charlotte died, Yudi had asked me if I wanted to go out for dinner. And when I came home, I opened my blanket, to get under the covers, and something fell into my bed. And it didn't say anything on the front of the envelope, but when I opened it up, it was a letter from Charlotte. It said, Dear Mommy, I love you so much. Think you're the best mommy I could ask for. Love, Charlotte. It just boosted my spirits, made me feel so good. I wanted to run into her room and wake her up. And I'm like, honey, you do not wake up a sleeping child. You'll talk to her in the morning. So in the next morning, I woke up, I told her how good she made me feel. And I was so grateful. And as soon as we got home from the hospital that night, I turned to my son, I'm like, Manny, she left me a note, go get it. And the next morning, I was laying in her bed. I could not sleep that night. And I was laying in her bed, and I was looking around, and I'm like, Charlotte had such a good life. She's so lucky. She had the most amazing friends. She had the best teachers. She was in such a warm school. Everyone adored her. She was just that person that everyone knew, everyone loved. And then I was started getting sad, and I'm like, but let's say I didn't, in her heart, she was feeling sad or hurt, or something was going on, and she didn't tell me, and maybe I wasn't a good enough mother for her. And then I was like, no, honey, she left you a note. She told you you were the best mommy for her. And that also was one of the things that gave me tremendous comfort. But I mean, it was such a gift from her.
My daughter left a note for my wife the night before she died, saying, "Dear mommy, I love you. I couldn't ask for a better mommy, right? You're the best mommy ever." If you don't see the godliness in that, the night before our daughter dies, it's not like she left notes every night and it happened to be that this is another night and oh, now we have a story. No, she didn't leave notes. The night before she died, she left a note. That's a sign from Hashem telling you you're going to be okay. I'm in charge. recognize this. Charlotte's life was a set amount of time. It was 8.5 years. It was never going to be a day more, never going to be a day less. Nothing I could do differently. I started thinking about this interaction, about this comment they made in the back porch, in a different light. And I realized that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so good. He is so good. He's so good to us. Everything that happens in our life is just so amazing. And I realized that wasn't that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was giving us a tsar to even the score, right? Giving us a tsar because we had such a great life. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us a great life to prepare us for the tsar. 8.5 years ago, he knew that Charlotte, he's going to have to take away. And he knows, even though our neshama agreed to it, even though, it's all for the best, right? So he said, don't worry. It's going to be hard. It's going to be sad. It's going to be tragic. But I'm going to give you a beautiful life. That way, when it happens, you're going to be surrounded. You're going to have a beautiful home with beautiful family, with beautiful friends. And you're going to have a whole network of people who are going to be there for you to help support you, because this tragedy is going to happen. It has to happen. And I want to make sure that you're taken care of.
And regarding the last 30 days, it's tough. The time in the mornings that you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to face the world. The time in the mornings I would love to text my friend, when we usually learn before Shachris, and tell him, I'm not going to be there today. But knowing that this mission that we created over here was for the world to see and to really globalize this mission of Achdus, and for people to really internalize that no one can really do anything to you, and you can't do anything to anyone else unless Hashem wants. That's what keeps me going, and that's what pushes me, for myself, and also to show the world that we're continuing on and nothing's going to get in between us, and to really live this, not just to say it, but to really live this, that nothing changed between us. And I honestly believe it, from learning, from our families being together, from our kids being together. We're the day after as if we were the day before. And Rich Hashem, that's what we're going to continue doing.
To a certain extent, I'm thankful that it was Bini, because the tremendous Kiddush Hashem and the tremendous life-changing initiative that's gone on throughout the world. I mean, I get my phone buzzes every 5 minutes with another story, someone writing in from Paris, from Panama, from Israel, from Muncie, from everywhere. You see the life-changing impact it has made, and people making shalom all over the place. We don't point fingers, we don't place blame, and rather we take it as what it is, a test from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to show that we could overpower Machlekes. And we're in this together. Charlotte was my biggest cheerleader. She was so proud of her family. She made me feel good. If I was doing something, she would say, "Great job, Daddy. Oh, you did so good. Oh, you look great." She was just so good at making people feel good, myself and my wife included. She was the proudest little girl in the world, walking around with me, like telling everyone, "Oh, this is my daddy," And she was so proud. And I think right now, I can see her beaming right now. God, I can see her. And she's so proud. She's so proud. She's so proud of us. She's so proud of the community. She's so proud of Klal Yisrael. She's so proud. She's so proud that she's involved in this. That's it. I can see her smiling. She loves it. She's beaming, and she's probably going over to Moshe Rabbeinu and showing him, "You see? They're talking about me. They're talking about me. That's me. I'm Charlotte." I think everyone's lining up to Charlotte to get brachas right now. Because the chusim she has right now, and the families that she has brought together, and
the friends that are talking again after years, and the families, and grandchildren seeing grandparents, and children talking to parents. It's incredible. It's incredible. I could say with confidence, there's 50,000 acts of shalom that occurred because of Charlotte's story. What's an act of shalom? An act of shalom could be a full-blown machlekes resolved. An act of shalom could be someone just letting go of a grudge in their heart. And by the time you're watching this video, there'll be a million acts of shalom. And maybe we bring that. Maybe enough to bring to Kodesh Baruch Hu and say, okay, it's time. Your children aren't perfect, but we try really hard, and that has to count for something.
Come with me, little neshama, and let me hold you in my hand, and we'll fly away, you and I together, to a place down on the land. Come with me, little neshama, don't shy away, do as you're told. There's a little child waiting to be born today. You're to be his spark, his soul.